How's it going, everybody? This is BeatTheBush. Today we're going to talk about Robinhood Gold and if it's worth paying $5 a month in order to get the 5.25% APY interest on uninvested cash in your brokerage account. Depending on how savvy you are with your cash, you probably hunt around for the highest interest rate and you probably would get around 5% APY these days. Personally, I've been using Webull and I park most of my cash in there. On their app, it says you get 5% APY, but I've calculated that this is actually before compounding monthly. If you compound the interest monthly, the Webull interest rate of 5% APY, it's really 5.116% APY. The question is, assuming Robinhood gives you a slightly higher interest rate, will the delta of the interest rate pay for this $5 monthly fee? So in my calculator, just plug in whatever current interest rate that you're getting and it'll spit out a number on how much money you have to deposit in order to make it pay for itself. I get 5.116% APY at Webull. At Robinhood Gold, you're going to get 5.25%. So the delta is very, very marginal. So if you have more than $44,000 to deposit and collect interest, well, it's going to pay for itself. But you also have to take into account the taxes you have to pay on this interest. So the line after that, assuming you're in the 25% tax bracket, right? You can adjust this to your liking. You have to deposit about $60,000 in order to break even. I'll post a link to a Dropbox. You can download that spreadsheet, plug in your interest rate yourself and figure out if it's worth it for you. They expect the federal funds rate to be reduced about 3 times by the end of 2024. Each time they expect about a 0.25% decrease. Currently, the federal funds rate's around 5.33%. If you reduce this by 0.75%, it's going to go all the way down to 4.6%. So effectively, after you deposit your money, it's going to reduce the total amount of interest that you get, but it will not affect the decision to switch over to Robinhood Gold because the interest from all these high yield savings accounts gradually going to reduce. As soon as they cut the federal funds rate, they're quick to cut it, but slower to increase it. They also introduced Robinhood Gold Card made of actual real gold. Now it's a gimmick and all, but it certainly got my attention because I'm like, well, is it real gold? It's actually 10 karat gold, which is around 41% real gold by weight. You can get this gold card if you refer 10 people to Robinhood Gold, which means that 10 people need to start paying $5 per month to Robinhood. The first thing that comes to mind is how much gold are you actually getting? A typical plastic card weighs about 5 grams. A metal credit card like this Chase Sapphire Preferred weighs 13 grams and their gold card actually weighs 36 grams. If you are interested in kind of feeling how much it actually weighs, you can take a plastic credit card, tape on 4 quarters and 2 nickels, and this will weigh about 36 grams. This is quite hefty and you probably don't want to bring this around. It's a liability. Imagine you going to a restaurant and you want to lay this thing down in your check and they have to take it away in order to swipe it. No, you don't want them to hold on to $1,000 worth of gold here. Just for comparison, this is a real gold coin, 34 grams worth, and it has 1 real troy ounce worth of gold content in here. 34 grams and 36 grams. So these are very similar in weight. Now it's quite a gimmick because you're going to get this gold card. It's not actual cash. You can't really spend it or anything. And I guess you would just take this to show off, right? You pull it out of your pocket and go, hey, I got a real gold card. For some reason, I feel like an actual black card is probably more impressive than an actual gold card. Hopefully when they send these cards out, they'll send the actual gold card and a plastic version so that you can carry that with you. If they only give you the gold one, I would report it lost or something. They'll likely send you a replacement plastic one and you can use that one instead. If they don't do any of that, you can just keep that in a safe somewhere, pawn it or something, keep the cash and put that in your digital wallet instead. For those that have the means of referring 10 people, it's not actually such a high paying thing. Typically with bank referrals, you might get somewhere between $100 to $250. So the card is actually worth 10 referrals, $100 per referral, which is $1,000 worth. Let's say it's a couple of years later, nobody cares about an actual real gold card anymore, and you want to sell it off. If you go to some store or some website that would buy your 10 karat gold from you. Generally, they pay between 80 to 85% of the value of the gold itself. So if it's $1,000 card, you probably can expect to get around $800 to $850 for it. That generally is for gold jewelry. If it's a gold card, it might not go for as much, I think. Personally, I signed up for Robinhood Gold. As of today, I initiated the process of transferring a lot of my cash from Webull into Robinhood Gold so I can start earning this money. If you guys are interested in Robinhood Gold, check out my referral link down in the video description below. And because there's no additional referral bonuses after you get 10, I'm gonna start posting other people's referrals in the video description below, in the order of whoever posts it that are subscribed. So check out my referral. In terms of utility, this Robinhood Gold Credit Card is really good. 3% cash back on everything. And on top of this, it has no international transaction fees. Typically, when I travel, the best I can use is a Bank of America unlimited cashback, 1.5%, and you get a 75% bonus for being in their preferred program. And in order to get the 75% boost, you need to have at least $100,000 of investments in their Merrill account. So this is a pretty large barrier to overcome, but 2.625 is pretty much the best I could do before this card internationally. So with a 3%, no international transaction fee, you can just travel and use this card on everything, on restaurants, whatever you buy overseas, all 3% cash back. You actually can't use any of those category cashback cards like 5% restaurants for Freedom, because those have transaction fee and those will greatly eat into whatever cashback that you get. So whenever you travel, it must have no foreign transaction fee for one, and then the second one, you want a really high cashback, 3% in this case. Highly recommend this card. Once they come out with it, I would get it. Thanks for watching this video. Until next time.